Not a super good PR move for the Mossad to say on CBS News that everything is controlled by us behind the
Holy
scenes.
fuck, dude.
And to compare your operations to the Truman Show. Happy Christmas Eve.
Is it?
He was slipping in middle fingers.
I don't know.
Is it fun for you? Is it a little thrill?
Yeah. Happy Christmas Eve to all who celebrate.
And to those who don't,
Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun.
it's still Tuesday Newsday. We're just keeping the regular format. Although a fair amount of my articles are Christmas related.
Okay.
But I got enough that we can speed through them if we have to. It's going to be a wheel day.
Okay.
Fun little wheel day. Thanks for tuning in. Going to be a big week.
Yep. What with Jesus' birthday and all.
Yep, tomorrow. At midnight. I like to imagine that he was born right at midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight mass and all, and you always see it at nighttime, you know, nativity scenes. And
Yeah.
if it happened at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that would kind of wreck my whole. You have the three wise men coming for the star. There's all kinds of like nighttime stuff going on.
Yeah. We wouldn't have found him if it was 3 p.m. He would have just got lost in the desert.
Yeah. True. I'm gonna spin this old wheel. $10. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Super Christmassy. Mossad agents reveal secrets of their 10-year-old exploding pager operation. This is from the Telegraph UK.
That was a gift that kept on giving.
Yeah, and we're back for someone to tell the whole story. People are speaking out. Now, their names, the names they gave to the press are Michael and Gabriel, which I found highly sus.
Oh.
Yeah.
This article
Just like the two most powerful archangels.
Yeah.
I find that highly sus. Any predictions before we dive in?
No, honestly, I don't know. I kind of forgot about. I didn't forget about it, but like other stuff's been going on.
Yeah, this just came out today. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Former Mossad agents have described how Israel spies spent 10 years on an operation to hide bombs inside walkie-talkies and pagers before detonating them earlier this year. The duo, going by the names Michael and Gabriel, said the attacks in Lebanon had sent a message to Israel's enemies not to mess with us. They revealed during an interview with CBS News. The two men gave while dressed in ski masks and sunglasses to hide their identities. The Mossad began conducting tests with their newly developed devices to figure out how this is a typo, figure out the exact amount of explosives needed to limit the damage to the person holding the pager, the pair claimed. Because Hezbollah's pager was small and slick, the team had to enlarge theirs to fit the explosives. It gets into how they did that. Gabriel said, "I remember the day that I came to our director and put it in on the table. He was furious. He was telling us there's no chance anybody will buy such a big device. It's not comfortable in their pocket. It's heavy." 2 weeks later, Gabriel convinced the spy chief to approve the mission, he claimed. Mossad then used fake advertisements on YouTube to launch the new pager, which was robust, dust-proof, waterproof, and had a long battery life. He said, "We make advertising movies and brochures. We put it on the internet, and it became the best product in the beeper area in the world." After finding that Hezbollah was buying their pagers from a company in Taiwan called Gold Apollo, Mossad lured them into a working arrangement by setting up shell companies. When they are buying from us, they have zero clue they're buying from Mossad, Gabriel said. He also compared the scheme to the film The Truman Show, saying everything is controlled by us behind the scenes. Not a super good PR move for the Mossad to say on CBS News that everything is controlled by us behind the scenes.
Fuck, dude.
And to compare your operations to The Truman Show, he added, in their experience, everything's normal. Everything was 100% kosher, including businessman, marketing, engineers, showroom, everything. The retired Mossad agent insisted that the agency tested everything triple-double multiple times in order to make sure there's minimum damage. He claimed, if we push the button, the only one that will get injured is the terrorist himself, even if the wife or daughter will be right next to him. He's the only one who's going to be harmed. I think some people in some grocery stores have a different opinion on this. On September 17th, nearly a year after Hezbollah started a conflict by firing rockets and missiles into Israel territory, in solidarity with Hamas, Mossad's pagers began exploding across Lebanon. The explosions caused instant chaos in the country, with ambulances rushing to the scene where Hezbollah members had their limbs blown off. The following day, a second round of explosions rocked Lebanon as Mossad detonated the walkie-talkies. Around 3,000 people were wounded in the attacks, most of whom were believed to be members of Hezbollah, while 30 died, including 2 children, because children love to carry pagers. The aim, Gabriel claimed, was not to kill Hezbollah members, but rather to wound them. Come on, man. He said, if he's wounded, you have to take him to the hospital, take care of him. You need to invest money and effort, and those people without hands and eyes are living proof. Walking in Lebanon, you don't mess with us, quote. They are walking proof of our superiority all around the Middle East. The retired agent also claimed that Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah was broken after the attacks. I don't know if you know that. Nasrallah, just next to him in the bunker, several people had beepers receiving the message, and his own eyes, he saw them collapsing, he said. So we have the story that these guys in ski masks and sunglasses calling themselves angel names on CBS are to be believed. This was 10 years in the works with a Taiwanese company. Their line is they weren't trying to kill anybody. And 10 years. So they set up marketing firms, YouTube videos. This makes me not want to buy anything off Temu.
It's showrooms, I think it said. So they had to hire salespeople.
They created a cell phone company.
Yeah. But then they would also have, someone else might wander in who's not a Hezbollah suspect.
Yeah, why would only Hezbollah... You see an ad on YouTube, it's like, this is the best pager. It's a little bigger than the other ones, but it's waterproof. What if you're just like, sounds good to me, I work construction. How would you possibly know who bought these things?
It seems like you wouldn't need to do this if you knew who the people were anyway. What?
Yeah.
Plus, it's just completely psychotic. They just were trying to maim them. This is what the cartel does. They disfigure people and display them as a psychological tactic to I don't know.
Yeah, showroom, marketing, engineers. They were selling these to the public. They just were trying to get them into Mossad, into the Hezbollah's hands. Yeah. Any further thoughts?
So they had to accept a margin of error that there would be innocent casualties.
Yes.
Obviously, they're okay with that.
How are you were literally saying here's a new product. It's worse, it's bigger and more clunky than normal pagers. So we have to sell this to you. So we have to do advertising campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. So you're selling it to everybody.
Why couldn't they just put a chip that gathers information or has some back door to give them access to their computer or whatever?
He said it. He said it was to cause chaos.
Yeah.
It was to freak everyone out. Yeah.
I'm just... Whatever.
You're disappointed? Okay.
Yeah.
Not mad at you, Israel.
I hate that.
Yeah. I knew you'd love this one. We're just now openly talking about it. I love that the whole gist of the article, though, it keeps pushing toward the we weren't trying to kill anybody thing. When it's like blowing off a guy's leg in a grocery store is like completely cool.
Or like the guy's holding his kid on his lap.
Yeah, it said
Or
multiple children died. Yeah.
All right. So like...
And
they go out of their way to say we weren't trying.
And I think you called it. My first thought when I read that was like, oh my God. Because what I pictured was they had like an inside agent in the terrorist group who's like, okay, guys, I got us some super secret pagers. And then to learn that it was a whole industrial economic operation where you're just selling these pagers out in the open.
That's like going fishing. Like you take a bunch of corn and throw it in, and then you just sit on the shore with a shotgun. And when they come up to the thing, you just...
Yeah, and you're like, I only killed the bad carp.
Yeah.
All right. Merry Christmas. That was a good spin. All right, 7. All right. This one you actually gave me a week ago, but it's Christmas related.
Oh, okay.
It's from the Daily Mail. The tomb of St. Nicholas, old Santa Claus. His tomb has been found underneath a church in Turkey.
Santa deniers hate to hear it.
The man is real, but he's been dead for a while. But not in our hearts.
Yeah.
Archaeologists say they've found the tomb of St. Nicholas, who inspired the story of Santa Claus. They uncovered a 6-foot-long limestone tomb with a raised lid and a pitched roof, buried up to 6 feet underneath a church of St. Nicholas in Turkey. The sarcophagus was found within a 2-story structure, the borders of the church's courtyard in the south. Now the team is searching for an inscription on the sarcophagus, which could reveal the date and identity of the deceased. The fact that we have found a sarcophagus near the search, which is thought to house his tomb, may indicate that this is the sacred area that we've been searching for, said an associate professor. The tomb was found in the ruins of the ancient basilica submerged by rising sea levels in the Mediterranean during the Middle Ages. Historical records have shown that shortly after, the Church of St. Nicholas was built on top of the foundation to protect the saint's tomb, but it was not until recently that archaeologists uncovered a mosaic and stone flooring from the previous sanctuary that led them to St. Nicholas's final resting place. This is like, what's that movie with Nicolas Cage?
Oh, National Treasure.
This is like National Treasure, but you're trying to find Santa Claus's dead body. You know, like,
Right.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be an archaeologist for a while. It would be pretty sick. Although all I see now when I watch videos of them is they're just dusting off pottery pieces.
They have to do like a bunch of research and investigation to get to that point, and then that's like the...
Yeah, you have your big story. I found Santa Claus. Yeah. Stories of the holy figure who lived between 270 and 343 AD suggest he inherited money and gave it away to the poor, specifically 3 girls, to save them from a life of prostitution. Let's get back on that, Santa. Stop with the Xboxes. Let's get these girls out of the streets. However, these ideas are not presented in historical documents, only passed down in verbal stories, which is exactly what historical documents also are. Santa Claus is based on stories about St. Nicholas, who built a reputation for performing miracles and secretly giving gold to the needy. The name evolved from the Nick's Dutch surname Sinterklaas, a shortened form of Sint Nicolaas, from the Dutch Saint Nicholas. Currently, we can see the lid part of the sarcophagus, and we have uncovered a small part of it, though. In the future, we'll dig deeper and reveal it completely. What if they get in there and he's gone? What if they get in there and the body of Santa Claus is missing? And then we have, like, scientific proof that Santa Claus might be real. So it's not going to happen, but no, that's not what it says.
Yeah. No, what else is it?
The Byzantine church, built over the foundation, was a place of worship for Orthodox Christians between the 5th and 12th century and was surrounded by statues of St. Nicholas. It was added to the UNESCO World Heritage Sites list in 1982. There's other church stuff, but we got the headline.
Well, he is real.
Oh, this is a weird part. St. Nicholas's bones were believed to have been smuggled to Italy by merchants in 1087. You know about that, right? Like the Catholic Church, like smuggling of bones and stuff.
Yeah, somewhat. Like of supposed saints, right?
Yeah, that was like a common thing. Now archaeologists are suggesting the wrong bones were removed way back then, and the ones that went to Italy belonged to an anonymous priest. That's what they did. They just took random dead bodies, and they're like, this is St. James. By his finger bone, they just piece off the body at multiple churches. But yeah, we found Santa Claus, boys and girls. NORAD tracker says he is 6 feet underground in a church in Turkey.
The turkey thing is interesting. It's because I don't know. I mean, that's part of my namesake. I was named after my Aunt Nicole, but also like Saint Nicholas, patron saint of children and Marines.
Oh, mariners, Marines. That's interesting.
Yeah, people who travel and work on the sea.
Turkey was a huge Christian area, as was most of the Middle East. The Hagia Sophia, big famous mosque in Turkey, that was actually the reason it has that big dome. It was an Orthodox church. People forget. Someday I'm going to do a Friday episode on the Crusades and about why they were a good thing. People forget that whole area was like a certain type of people until they were conquered. And then the Crusades immediately came after to like liberate bunch of them and stuff. But now this is interesting. I wish I'd seen this. I wish I'd seen this when I was putting together the show. Here's why you should tell your kids Santa Claus exists, according to a philosopher.
So this is like secular, but I don't know. Santa Claus.
Science says
Santa
tell your
Claus
kids Santa Claus is real.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I mean, the character is based on a saint, but it's also like the Orthodox stuff is interesting because it's like there's like interpretations of Jesus or like that he lived. Okay, like there's 33 vertebrae. It has to do with like the physiological processes of the body, but also Santa Claus has a similar type of like parallels to these stories.
Okay,
like,
that's interesting.
Like it's called cerebral spinal fluid. It begins in your like pineal gland, and then there's like 2 other glands. Anyway, he descends down the chimney and then ascends back up, which is what the cerebral spinal fluid does, and it like activates the 12 systems of your body up and down your spine, and like he leaves you gifts and the pine cones, obviously the pine trees, and that is tied into another like myth about Santa, and like Amanita muscaria mushrooms would grow under pine trees.
Oh.
So it was like, and then the reindeer eat the mushrooms and digest, and then they would eat the yellow snow because it already had the psychoactive ingredients while breaking down the toxic ones.
Okay.
So they would, anyway, that's like, there's like so many angles of that story. It's like tied into Christmas. It's tied into these like, you could call them pagan ideas or like spiritual ideas that are not theistic. I don't know. I got deep in. I'm forgetting.
Eventually, you need to do a Friday about this because you've mentioned this multiple times.
Yes. And the Orthodox thing about, like you were saying about Turkey, was interesting. I never realized that. I don't know. It's like there's 12 systems of the body. There's 12 disciples. There's, I don't know the right word, allegorous, or it's, you can interpret some of the things in the Bible in multiple ways. Like Jesus could have literally lived that life, and also his life is a representation
Right.
of the physiological processes
Yeah, why
of your
not?
body. It's just like it's like this perfect symbiosis. Obviously, if he were God incarnate, he would want to show this literally to everyone.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why that couldn't be true.
Yeah.
You already, with the whole Jesus story, you have a bunch of Old Testament prophecies and stuff that you wouldn't know would fit unless he existed. So I could definitely see something like that being true. By the way, the philosopher, if you're wondering, he basically says if you told your kid the truth all the time about the world, it'd be pretty fucked up. So he says, don't worry too much about lying about Santa Claus.
Okay.
Pretty down to earth.
That's a pretty rational take.
Yeah. Okay. We got deep. Oh. 4. This one's off the walls. Japanese politician threatens to send bears to people and wants Looney Tunes style anti-bear bombs.
What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense.
No, I know. This one's off the walls. I just had to include it. The governor doesn't specify whether his desired bear fighting drones would drop anvils or some other less cartoony payload. It's common for politicians to make promises about what they're going to do to provide their constituents with prosperity, safety, or in the case of Norisha Satake, a governor of Japan's northern Akita prefecture, his offer/threat is to provide people with bears. Let's back up a step. Early in the morning of November 30th, a bear broke into a supermarket in Akita City, attacking an employee who suffered injuries to his head and face. Okay, Japan. After the store was evacuated and sealed off, live captured cage traps were set up on December 1st, and the following day the bear was caught, tranquilized, and cold by electric shock. Since then, the Akita prefecture...
You fucking killed him.
Since then, the Akita prefectural government has received 56 phone calls about the incident, with 24 of them expressing disagreement with killing the animal. Okay.
On December 1st, the bear committed seppuku because of his dishonor for being captured.
Yeah, that's all that happened. Do you think animals in Japan say their own names like Pokemon? Do you think it's like bear, bear? When the subject of the phone complaints came up during a prefectural assembly budget committee meeting on Tuesday, the governor was asked how he would reply to the complaints, to which the 77-year-old politician answered, "If I receive a phone call complaining about that, I would go into full intimidation mode and say to the person, quote, 'Tell me your address because I'm going to ship you a bear. If you're worried about them, I'll send one to your house. Do that, and I think I'll hang up.' Adding, there is no need to talk with someone who won't understand. The Japanese language has many words for you, but Satake chose to go with ome, one of the ruder ones, hey you, type of thing, that's used when talking to someone who's beneath you. Bear attacks have become an increasing concern in rural parts of Japan in recent years, with dwindling numbers of hunters coinciding with more frequent attacks. However, it's also true that when bears aren't attacking people, they tend to look really cute, and their occasional playful sides often earn them even more sympathy, especially with residents or communities where wild animals attacks are unlikely. The supermarket incident comes just a few months after the Akita public awareness poster about the danger of wild bear encounters drew reactions. The questions about what to do with wild animals that enter human spaces, especially those that have attacked people, is a complex one. For Sataki's preferred solution, though, he thinks it would be great if someone developed some new bear fighting weapons for him. Continuing the Ursine discussion at the assembly meeting, Sataki spoke on the difficulties of having hunters use rifles to call bears in populated areas where stray bullets could injure people. He said, quote, "We could do things like have unmanned drones drop objects from above, or have the bears eat small explosive devices that we could detonate remotely once they're inside the bear's stomachs." You gotta call the Mossad, brother. You want some explosive bear treats.
I was thinking of the guy who killed the former prime minister was assassinated.
Oh, with his homemade.
Yeah, he used a double barrel shotgun resembling device made with metal pipes, duct tape, and wood. And I think he had gunpowder, but they don't sell ammunition, so he had like packed gunpowder. It was like a muzzle loader where he packed the shot on top of the gunpowder, and then he had like an electric device.
So what are they hunting? Like some of the hunters that still exist, what are they using? Do you think it's just like super hard to get a gun?
Oh yeah, their gun law, like that's why. Yeah, their gun laws are extremely strict.
But you could still get one.
I think
kind of like machine guns here. Like some people can get them.
Well, a lot of people can. They're just really expensive. It is getting easier, but it's cost prohibitive. That's why only serious.
You're like Christmas gift idea.
Well, I was in. There's a really awesome gun store in Manhattan, and they have like basically the same types of firearms that are issued to military. Like it's an AR-15, but it's produced by this whatever, but fully automatic, high specs, but they're like 10 grand. You could get a belt-fed machine gun. Those are like 20 grand.
God, dude, if I won $1 million, you're telling me I could spend 20 grand on a belt-fed machine gun? Like, why wouldn't you?
You could get an M249 saw.
Death Wish 3, one of my favorite movies. There's a character who's just like a nice old man, and at the end of the movie, it turns out he has a belt-fed machine gun in his closet, and they just like murder a bunch of gang members outside the apartment complex.
Okay. Sick.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
All right, next. Might do one more than desk jokes. Not a great spin. 11. Oh, no, I don't want it. Dude, we've done so much heavy stuff. That one's about Jay-Z. Let's get one more wacky one. I'll tell you the headline. Jay-Z says he's going to throw Diddy under the bus.
Good.
Yeah, he says he has absolutely no plans of loyalty. Oh, you'll like this one. It's a space conspiracy.
Okay.
Stranded NASA astronauts, that's from E! News, Christmas photo is raising major questions.
I saw this one.
You saw this one, yeah.
Well,
Long story short.
I didn't read anything about it, but I just saw, obviously they took pictures with Christmas hats.
Yeah, and they're like, where do you get the Christmas hat?
The mission, they went up in June or something.
Yeah.
For an 8-day mission. I did see that. That's all I saw, though.
I believe it was 8 days that turned into 8 months. They might be up there for close to a year at this point. This is another story that's fallen off the headlines.
Yeah.
For a week or two, the biggest story was like, oh my God, did you know we have
Stranded.
astronauts? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're stranded, but they're also still able to get them supplies somehow.
So.
That was a pretty simple explanation.
Yeah.
They still can. There's another airlock that just can drop supplies off, essentially.
They were also talking about what they're going to eat for Christmas, and they have leftover Thanksgiving food, which they weren't supposed to be out there for Thanksgiving either. They have freeze-dried turkey and cranberry or whatever. But the thing most people don't realize is they're on the International Space Station. Let's Google this here. There's constantly people coming and going from other countries.
So I guess.
At least 7 people. Wow, they orbit Earth every 90 minutes. That's a crazy schedule. You're around the Earth 16 times every 24 hours. you see 16 sunsets and 16 sunrises a day.
That's pretty wild.
That is wild.
So if they're like, I don't know.
They don't look good. I don't know if you've looked at a picture of them lately. I saw the Christmas one. They look so much worse than even like, they've lost so much weight. And
That's gotta cause a lot. There's so many fucking variables. That's crazy. They're like, their suits aren't gonna fit properly, and then like their farts are like gonna go up out of their suit all the time.
NASA's working on the fart problem, Nick. We talked about the fart problem.
I don't know. I'm worried about their bowel movements.
I'm worried about how are you pooping. I wonder if we can get them on Zoom. I wonder if they have the internet. That's how they cast their votes. They voted online. They send like an electronic signal to, like directly to a clerk.
That's crazy.
It's a weird story in general, and we just haven't. And by the way, I learned also through this Christmas story that they've now pushed it back. They said they'd get them before Christmas. Now and then they pushed it back to late January, early February. Now they say the earliest they can come back is the end of March.
So they're gonna be up there almost a year.
They're gonna be up there a year, dude. They already look like they're losing their shit.
What's that? There's a couple pretty good movies. I can't remember the guy's name. Sam Rockwell, I think. He's in the movie Moon, where it's like him on this moon base, and he has an AI.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah. That's good. And then The Martian is really good.
Yes.
Where he's like rationing out his Xanax in smaller portions. He like puts it on this packet of ketchup that he has. That's like the last meal he has is a packet of ketchup and a crushed up Xanax.
Before he starts the potato crusade.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
Do you think like they just sent? Because the video, I just saw one video and the guy was like, "Why would they send Christmas hat?" I'm like, "Because they're fucking losing their mind, dude."
That is possible.
It's like to retain some form of humanity so they can still feel connected and like, I don't know.
Also, there have been new people that have shown up since I've been there.
See, that's crazy to me. Like, why couldn't they just leave on that vehicle?
I don't know anything about space travel. I don't know.
It's got.
I had the same thought. I mean, you think of space travel like, why don't you just get out and I'll get in? But not everything works that way. I mean, you think about the Elon Musk, the thing that caught the thing, and how big of a deal that was, and who knows? Maybe they came up and the only thing they have, and then that thing's going to just crash in the ocean, at a certain speed. I don't know. Here's the other thing: the International Space Station's been up since the '80s. Maybe they just have a closet full of random Christmas shit. Right. It is a fairly large device or vehicle or whatever you want to call it.
It is funny to just think of like other people's shit laying around. It's like they have to ration how much food by weight and like conserve all their piss to turn it into water.
Oh, we can't get rid of the Santa outfits.
Yeah.
Those two, I don't think we respect astronauts enough in our culture. Those two have been through some shit.
Right.
I'm just going to do this one because there's no other time to do this one. This is from WBRC. Man in Grinch suit arrested after drinking too much eggnog. And they took his...
in the fucking mask.
They took his... I just go ahead and screenshot this. They took his mugshots in the Grinch outfit. He was also arrested in the outfit. Last Sunday in Maplesville old-fashioned Christmas event, police noticed a man dressed as a Grinch acting strangely in the booths at the venue. Later on at the Stanton Christmas Parade, police spotted the same man again acting aggressively towards nearby parade goers. Police arrested the suspect, took him into Chilton County Jail on charges of public intoxication, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, theft of property, and intent to steal Christmas cheer.
God damn it.
According to a report from the sheriff's office. I honestly don't know if this is a joke or not.
Or Connecticut?
Subject is currently grumpy while he gets sober, said District Judge Chris Speaks, set a bond in the amount of 500 candy canes. I don't know what this is, but all I know is this is a real news site. Like, I checked this out before you came home. Like, this isn't like The Onion. And I don't know if this is just the whitest, nicest, where nothing happens community, but it sounds a lot to me like the reporters are just cracking a lot of jokes about this guy in the costume getting arrested, or is this just like one of those stories they put out for kids, like Santa spotted over South Africa,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, and there's no indication of which one it is because, yeah. So good news, we got the Grinch and we got Santa. We got them, boys.
Santa came back from the dead to stop the Grinch
Or something.
on a nog-fueled rampage.
All right. It's time for desk jokes.
Some celebrity birthdays.
I have a couple news articles.
Okay, let's do those first, I think.
A New Jersey resident has recently won the over $1 billion Mega Millions jackpot. New Jersey. When asked how they'd spend it, they said, I guess I'll just buy a shit ton of drones and freak everyone out. I have no cards to throw. We gotta get back to the cards.
Oh, yeah.
It makes telling a bad joke so much better.
Right.
To throw it away physically. I'll do one more news one. This year, oddly enough, Christmas and Hanukkah, the beginning of Hanukkah, of course, fall on the same day. The state of Israel announced that it will celebrate the only way it knows how, by shooting down Santa with anti-aircraft missiles. I have one more news one, I guess. Okay. Rumors have begun surfacing that Vice President Kamala Harris will be running for the governorship of California. When asked for comment, Kamala Harris stated, quote, California is a state. It's a very big state. It's the state where I'm from, and I was born there. Seems like it's going just the way we thought it would.
It's going pretty well so far.
Yeah.
Rapper DaBaby turns 33 on the 22nd. Let's go. This year, he plans to contract AIDS in an attempt to further his re-education after homophobic remarks about the LGBTQ community.
It's a good one. This one's stupid. Ricky Martin, Latino pop star, will turn 53 this week. Living La Vida Loca, more like, how do I program this Blu-ray remote?
Still has Blu-ray.
It's not even that old. I have an uncle who's 53.
That's hilarious. Actor Ralph Fiennes, famous for his villainous roles of Voldemort in the Harry Potter franchise and Mother's Little Stinky Boy, Francis Dollarhide in Red Dragon. Fiennes turns 62 on the 22nd and plans to celebrate with his most villainous role yet, becoming the new United Healthcare CEO.
Oh, I like that. That's another dumb one. Actor and comedian Ray Romano turned 67 this week. More like everybody loves insulin, am I right? He's not even fat. I don't even know where my mind was going with that one. I'm just like, they're older than me. They're old. 67 isn't even that old.
He's not fat, but he looks fat. You know what I'm
He
saying?
looks full of pasta. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The man looks like he's had quite a few tortellinis in his day. Like, he hasn't expanded, but they're filling him, much the way that marbles would fill a glass jar or a balloon.
Okay.
He's very puffy.
Finn Wolfhard of Stranger Things fame turned 22 on Monday. Fun fact, Finn Wolfhard was named after the infamous Helsinki dog jerker offer.
Sometimes I like when we don't review these by each other. This is my final one. Sadly this week, philanthropist and billionaire Howard Hughes would have turned 99. First of all, it's kind of odd that he's the same age Dick Van Dyke is.
Oh, wow.
I don't think of those two people as the same age. Howard Hughes would be 99 this week. When asked for comment, his frozen head stated, "Please kill me. I can't live for another eternity next to Walt Disney."
Oh man, we
Good
should
riddance.
we should do a Disney Friday. Diedrich Bader, famous for his role as the neighbor in Office Space, said he plans to celebrate his 58th birthday on Christmas Eve with 3 chicks at one time, man.
Let's go. One of the all-time classic movies. Also loved him on the Drew Carey Show.
He was great. He's the
And the Clampets.
the Rex Kwon Do guy and
Oh, yeah.
whatever that.
A purely 90s career, but a purely beautiful one.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett turns 78 on Christmas, shares a birthday with Jesus. Buffett is best known for turning margaritas into piss.
That's good.
Dune heartthrob Timothy Chalamet turns 29 on Friday. His birthday plans are very dry and convoluted and overly pedantic. I'd like him to ride my worm, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Go gay for Dune guy.
Yeah.
Anymore.
That's it.
It's pretty not bad.
It's pretty not bad.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll be saying the same thing tomorrow.
Tell these jokes to your family.
Get out. We're dropping this in the morning. We're back to our regular schedule.
Hey.
Tell these jokes to your family and get out and finish your last minute shopping.
You have 12 hours.
Yeah. Love you.
We love you.
Feliz Navidad.